themselves. These are all community-created levels that we're going to be digging into today that Jaychalke and Cinaeth have not seen, and we're voted on by the community. We're going to start off with the top 3, but you guys were so generous and lovely and wonderful that we're going to be doing all 17 levels today. So basically the way that things are going to work is that we have a 10-minute time limit per level. Whoever clears the level first gets a point. So essentially this is best of 17. Whoever gets 9 basically puts it out of reach, but we will be playing all 17 levels today for Pride. And again, because you guys were so gracious with your donations,
I just want to make sure someone said something about commentary, so I thought for a second that was getting picked up.
We'll be seeing maximum suffering on both sides. Hex, what do you think is going to happen today?
I think this is going to be a really interesting situation. We really don't know exactly what's going to happen, what we're going to see in these levels. We know Kaizo's traditionally pretty tough and kind of a tough thing to race on. So this is going to be anyone's game.
It is.
Right, you are. Hold on one sec. Looks like we may have some technical difficulties. Sounds like we're getting called out in chat. There should be commentary by now, so if anyone hears us here, please let us know.
Mine is also muted.
Riku's hearing commentary now. Excellent. Thank you so much, Riku. Much appreciated. Thank you guys very much. So I'm not sure if everyone heard the intro or not. So Hex, you want to give her that one again? Go for it, my friend. Let's take it from the top. No, we're still here, Rico. Waiting to get everything sorted out on our side. We will be beginning. I can't even talk today. That's not good. Today, but here are these 17 levels that are coming up here that were created by you guys. Riku, someone in the chat right now, has submitted one of those levels as well. We will see today. So we'll see what pain and suffering and misery we have wrought. The idea behind the design methodology here was actually to have this be something that people could complete in 10 minutes that are of quote-unquote average skill in Levelhead. Now, average skill is kind of hard to gauge, so as it is, because you have people that have just picked up the game recently at launch, and then other people that have invested literally hundreds of hours into the game, both on the creative side and in playing. So it's quite an interesting thing to find out what truly is an average level of skill. Either way, we will see some very interesting, very devious, and very technical stages coming at these players today and seeing how they adapt to them. And we do apologize, guys, if we're having some issues with commentary at the moment. We will get those sorted out, so hang tight, guys. We will be here.
I have returned.
Welcome back, Hex. Seems that we're having some small technical difficulties with commentary at the moment, so we're kind of going in and out at the moment, waiting for confirmation that we're all good. Everyone says that they can hear us at the moment, so they may have missed your lovely intro or part thereof. But either way, we'll wait to see until the green flag drops. But chat's saying we're all good at the moment, which is a good thing, guys. Greetings, everyone. Welcome, everyone, for hanging out today. And Hex, if you wish to deliver your lovely intro once again, please take it from the top.
For the third time, this is your Levelhead race main event. This bout is scheduled as a best of 17 Kaizo race. This will be for your All Kids Deserve to Eat championship. Introducing first the challenger, Cinaeth the Birdman, attorney at law, and his opponent, a Goran god himself, Mr. Jaychalke. Jaychalke, I am Hexadecimal. I have had some mic issues, and I am joined by the man with the golden voice, the blind monk of Levelhead, Retrophile TV. Chat, the race is about to begin, so let's go ahead and get some race hype going.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Hex. Really appreciate it. Glad to have you here in the booth with me today. Should be a good one, for sure. Hopefully everyone here is having a lovely time and a good day. Happy Friday, folks. And just to throw it out there, guys, the first level that's going to be popping up here today will be Flow Art's Ultimate Power Party Up level. That's, I think, will be a really good way to kick things off here once we get started, and is going to throw a lot at these people. I had a chance to play through some of the levels here today to kind of freshen up and figure things out for myself. And I got to say, I had a lot of fun with this one. This one's truly a treat. So congratulations to Flow Arts for creating such a wonderful level and for winning, actually, the highest number of votes for this one. Fantastic job. I believe there was a tie for first place here, but this is a really good level overall. We have so many talented creators in the community. A lot of them here are hanging out here today, looking to see how their levels get played as well. I got to say, it's been a fantastic community for sure, and this is a fantastic cause for you guys to donate to as well, just to kind of take things from the top here as we're going through. All Kids Deserve to Eat strives to improve and sustain the quality of life of students across America. Its specific objectives is to make direct relief efforts to schools across America for the purpose of alleviating lunch debt accrued by students throughout their educational career. As Cinaeth mentioned before, as you guys have probably heard before, this is something that follows them throughout their life, prevents them from having their transcript released. They can't go to prom, they can't participate in sports and other activities and such. And a lot of these kids, they're in elementary school at this point, and they're accruing debt. And truly, all kids deserve to eat. They deserve to have lunch. And there's no reason that they should be accruing debt at this point. So this is truly a worthy cause. Your money will go toward that and helping things out. Really do appreciate all of the generosity you guys have shown already. Fantastic job, guys. Let's keep it up. Okay, guys, sorry for the delay here. My co-commentator having some difficulties as well. We're having some technical difficulties in the back room here in Discord, but looks like our runners are currently off at this point. Again, welcome, guys. 17 levels, Kaizo race, 10-minute time limit for each until someone gets a clear, because it could happen at any point here. And basically, with this level out of the gate here, as the level name implies, we're going to be seeing a series of power-ups here. I believe every power-up is on display here in this level, except for Ripcord. So for those that are new to the game or those that do not know, this Levelhead is a platformer map maker creator, very much in the same vein as Mario Maker rather. And there are various power-ups that we can get here that change how GR18, who's the character you control here, and how they deliver at this point. And we're going to see a couple different ones just to kind of throw out what they are so you guys know moving forward. Looks like we're currently waiting at the moment, but just to let you guys know, Tiptoe is the ninja or Spider-Man like power-up, but they can cling to walls and do wall jumps. Zipper, which is my personal favorite, is the one that lets them actually zip or kind of lightning through walls. It's a short-range teleport. We're going to be seeing the Rebound, which is a very strange power-up that literally shoots GR18's face out, that can hit switches and gives a slight upward push in the opposite direction of what you're facing. And last but not least, in this level, we featured the Waylay, which allows a 45-degree angle air dash and is a bit of a brutish power-up that lets you break blocks and do good things with that as well. So that being said, guys, you'll be seeing all of those on display here today, and this level does a really great job of tying all of them together. So we'll see how they react to it once we get started here. All right, folks. Seems like I'm having some difficulty with the actual Discord restream, unfortunately, for some reason. So it looks like the actual stream is happening here in the background. So we'll try to offer commentary as best as we can. I do apologize in the meantime here. Again, welcome, guys. We'll see what we can do and who will be the first one to get the delivery. Whoever's the first to get there gets the point. And if they don't finish in 10 minutes, they don't get the point here. Delivery was not finished. They don't get nothing for it. So we very well could see it may be a best of 17. Whoever's first to get 9. That may not be the case here today because some of these levels are they're kind of challenging, I will say. And 10 minutes may be a tall ask to get through them for sure. This one I have faith that they will make it through since it's a pretty direct way of doing things and they don't have to react too quickly to what they're seeing. Now, again, the one thing to throw out here that we're seeing on Cinaeth's side is the rebound. That one is a power-up that takes a little bit of practice to get used to because you have to face the opposite direction of where you want to go, and then you propel yourself by actually shooting yourself forward. So this section requires a little bit of mastery to understand. We're using the faces to actually unlock the spikes to allow you to move on and progress. But the biggest thing about this level and the gimmicks that it has is chaining together the power-ups in such a way where it has a nice even flow through things here. You can cue the, what was that? No, I was about to say even flow. That's Pearl Jam, yeah? No? Maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head. But nonetheless, we'll see what these guys can come up with and what they can work with. But it's a pretty easy path forward, using the strengths of the power-ups to your advantage. But in some cases, you don't really have a lot of time to react. So you have to look. You will learn as you progress. It's kind of like Dark Souls, but a lot more colorful. Yes, there's a small flow art pun. It flows together artfully.
Be a flow art level if it wasn't a beautiful thing to watch. And as we can see right now, both players are kind of getting stuck at the same spot, but it seems like Cinaeth is a little bit further ahead, working his way through this wonderful power-up madness.
Right, you are there, Hex. Now, that being said, they are both currently at the checkpoint here. Again, one of the biggest things that we can possibly encourage in level design at the moment is adding enough checkpoints that the players will not feel discouraged by actually working their way through. So even if you die, you know that you can go back. You've learned these areas. You should be able to master them. So, Cinaeth, though, getting very close to the end of this section, more so than Jay, who's still working through the beginning parts of this. Hex, who's your favorite here for this level? You think we'll see a completion in 10 minutes?
I think we will see a completion in 10 minutes. However, I am betting on Cinaeth for this one. He seems to have a little more familiarity with flow art levels by the way he's been cruising through this.
There definitely is a comfort you can see on his side, definitely working his way through with practice bravado. Now, that being said, we have 5:30 already on the clock, and there's still plenty of work ahead of both of these players at this point. Definitely some challenging moments that have to happen, so Cinaeth's going to have to turn up the pace there if he wants to get that completion.
And Cinaeth is already at the next checkpoint, so that right there is a strong place to be, getting an entire checkpoint ahead.
And he's making his progress even further now. So now he moves on to the Waylay. Again, the brutish power-up that can break these brick blocks in front of these switches that open up these spikes. They're bouncing off these blobfish, avoiding these cromblers, these red things that are there. Basically, a whole bunch of different challenges await them at this point. But with only about 4 minutes to go, again, Cinaeth really is going to have to string this together very cleanly. And unfortunately, he's going to have to keep this pace going. You can't stop and rest. It has to be a smooth motion throughout. But he's making excellent progress with the rebound. Looks like he gets a peak at the end of this section. So, but definitely way ahead right now of Jaychalke, who's still working his way through in the same section. Definitely with these one-tile jumps, with the blobfish and trying to work your way on that side, it can be very difficult and challenging. But Cinaeth right now showing very good expertise. Will he get this ending clear? He does, and that's another checkpoint for Cinaeth. Looking good.
This is definitely the progress he was wanting to see coming into this level.
Agreed. Now, if memory serves here, I believe Cinaeth is getting near the end. He has 3 minutes to find that clear. And I believe this possibly could be the final push. We may see our first delivery here today.
As you can see on Jay's side, he still seems to be struggling with rebound, which is a power-up that doesn't seem to get a lot of love. by level creators, it's kind of rather difficult to build levels with, so that could be throwing Jay off quite a bit.
Agreed. If you don't really have a lot of experience with it, you really have to kind of learn on the fly, and it's not directly intuitive out of the gate, but the more you use it, the better you get with it. What a fanciful thought, that practice makes somewhat perfect. But nonetheless here, Cinaeth putting on a clinic, grabbing himself that extra checkpoints, and he's still pushing his way through here and showing the power of the zipper, and great precision on his part now. Very good job. But Jaychalke, no slouch, getting himself at the checkpoint as well.
Will Jaychalke catch up? That's going to be the question right now. Will he catch up and manage to get the flag?
Oh,
Will he get that package delivered?
Cinaeth making a rough mistake there. Meant to air dash into the right side of the wall, but actually bonked off the left and pretty much ensuring his doom at this point. He's going to get another crack at it, but walks off the ledge. Both of these players right now have to be looking at the timer and feeling some pressure now. 8:30 on the clock, a minute 30 to go in this first level before we move on. Will someone get on the board here? Will this be first blood for Cinaeth? Cinaeth approaching the end here, switching over into that waylay. Going to grab himself the zipper, work his way through here pretty quick. Pretty simple stuff. Now, will he get the right side he needs to? He does. He gets the bonk, but does not get the left air dash. Did not have a chance to register that quickly enough. Again, there's no stopping. One technique that I'm not seeing these guys use at this point that could be very helpful, especially in some of the later levels we will see today, is pause buffering. And what I mean by that is actually, even if you die, you can pause the game and you have a chance before cutting back to the checkpoint to look around and see what's there and plan your attack. That very well could mean the difference between a death and a clear. We will see here. 1 minute left on the clock. Less than that, 30 seconds. Cinaeth's going to have to string this together, and we'll see what happens. But I think we're going to be.
We have a last second clear. Let's see. Anything is possible in a race.
We definitely saw that with the excellent Ori 2 Rando race that came down to the wire. Beautifully done. Cinaeth will have one more chance at the end here. Gets that, but there's a whole other section in front of him. 10 seconds to go. I don't believe we're going to be seeing this today, unfortunately, folks. Looks like this one's going to be going to a tie out of the gate. Moving on to the next one here momentarily. And that is time, folks, on the first level. That is done. So, a shame that we could not see the completion. Cinaeth with excellent progress overall. They did very well. But that's where we stand at this point, folks. They're trying to do what they can, but the time has obviously expired, as we've seen. We're letting the runners know now that that time is up.
Right now, we are getting ready to go into our next level. Give us a second while we get that nicely set up for y'all.
And just to provide some clarification here, guys, looks like there's been a small change in the ruling. A bit of a gentleman's agreement among Jaychalke and Cinaeth that whomever gets the latest checkpoint in the level, basically whoever gets the farthest, will get the points. So this is actually a point first for Cinaeth. Congratulations to him. Definitely made some excellent progress. Good strides overall. Good play from both players. Hopefully the initial jitters have worn off because there's a big mountain to climb here, guys. So stay tuned. We got more coming at you. 16 more levels to dig into here.
As a lot of you guys know, Kaizo levels are definitely one of the harder types to do, especially in a race format where you don't have the time to really dedicate in your own head learning the level. Kaizos are extremely brutal to race on because of the fact that you don't know how far the other guy has gotten. That adds extra pressure to an already intense level design.
Right, you are there, Hex, for sure. So Kaizo, I mean, you've heard the term before. Basically, it usually means intense precision, stringing things together overall, and we're going to see that here. this is going to be a learning process. This level from Viral Melon definitely has some interesting things. Now, notice here really quick, in this portal or in this rift here, there actually is an option that Viral has provided to actually see the level. So if you're good enough to process this and piece it together, you will get a bit of an advantage. It takes a few moments to see, but it definitely can work your way through it. Jay and Cinaeth look like they're just going to throw some attempts at it and learn what needs to happen. They will need to grab the shell there in the beginning. Looks like we have a potential ocular scrub that's standing there. I believe that's a scrub, yes. So they'll have to grab the shell there, throw it through the fire, and then flingo, that's the little grapple points you see there that are lit up. They're going to have to flingo up and to the right and then bounce off of it. We'll see who gets that one first. They're going to work their way up, bounce off a vac rat, grab a boomerang, which is known as a wingerang. And there's a lot that has to happen here. So you're going to see them doing this beginning part multiple times. There are no checkpoints in this level, so we're going to see who makes it through the most things or challenges. It's not a particularly long level. You can finish it in less than 15 seconds. But it is a challenging level that will likely take them the full 10 minutes here for them to piece everything together. Hex, I know that this type of level is definitely a challenge for both of us, both you and I. What do you think of this one so far out of the gate, just kind of seeing it? Have you had a chance to try this one yourself?
I attempted to get through the beginning section, and notice my wording, attempted.
Agreed.
Levels are extremely difficult. That is kind of the thing that Viral Melon is known for when it comes to the Kaizo levels. So there's a lot of moving components, a lot of moving parts, and a lot of precise inputs that need to be made on time, or it is death.
Agreed. And you only have one shot at all of these things, because you notice here that some of these flingos that you'll see that they're lit up or they're turned off. When they're turned off, you will not grapple into them. In some sections, you'll work your way up and they will turn off when you get it at a certain point. So you can't, there's no way for you to look, basically. And that's where I kind of mentioned the whole pause buffering strategy can definitely come in handy as needed.
And chat throwing out there, note that FlowArt has never seen this level beat on stream. And I agree. I would love to see this beat on stream, and I would love to see this beat for a point. This is not going to be a very forgiving level by any stretch of the imagination.
Indeed. So we have seen some progress here on a couple sides where they have opened that fire gate, but I've not seen anyone actually get the jump off the flingo, where they fling to the right, and then jump off the Oculus shell, or sorry, the scrub shell that goes to the right there. Sorry, there's two different enemies that are very similar that have shells. One will fall off edges, the other one will not. And the Ocula can't see too good and will fall off the ledges. But the scrub here with its wonderful air purifying mustache, that is truly canon to the lore of the game, is our friend here that we'll be bouncing off of to make our progress to the right-hand side. We'll see if anyone can piece that together. And it looks like Jay getting to the far side but could not get that flingo grapple. Hopefully he got a good peek at that and knows he needs to grab upward while rocketing to the right.
The thing is, when you have that flingo momentum, sometimes it is hard to see exactly what you need to do. It's especially when you have multiple inputs to be focusing on. You're so busy trying to figure out where you're about to hit. You're using a flingo as opposed to where you need to be.
Agreed.
So let's hope he actually did see that flingo hiding up there.
Agreed. As far as Kaizo levels goes, it's one challenge is executing what is being asked of you, but the other challenge is actually the visual stimuli and processing what you're seing and what's being asked of you in the first place. So every death here that we're seeing is a learning opportunity to find out what we have to do, piecing together what is being asked of you in this level, because it is a very specific set of challenges that have to happen. It's a specific set of inputs that have to occur that Viral has put together truly masterfully. Very good to see this done, but as people were saying in chat, it's taken them 40 minutes to complete. It's not been completed on stream, that sort of thing. It is not a particularly long level, but it is very demanding. So hopefully we'll see what happens here. That being said, Hex, we have Cinaeth up 1-0 at present here, drawing first blood in the last level. As far as I can tell, Jay has gotten the furthest. No one is pulled up on the right-hand side on that flingo right now. So as it stands right now, even though we don't have any checkpoints, Jay would take the point for this. Who's your favorite currently looking at this? You think Cinaeth will pull this one out, or do you think Jay will make some more progress?
Judging by the way we've been seeing the progress go, now that Jay has gotten past the fire once, through that flingo on the right side of it, I'm willing to bet he will have the further progression overall, since he is actually getting further with more attempts. I think that early lead on this level for learning it could be something that is going to play major into how this one scores out.
Agreed. And we just saw here a little bit ago that Jay did get the upward fling on that, but however did not fling to the left. Actually, he flew too close to the sun on wings made of wax and actually slammed himself into the wall at the top here. Now, even though you guys can't see this and it just looks like normal platforming, these are all just hidden traps that are masked entirely. So basically, you can't touch the ground. It's like the floor is lava, but no, it's just hidden spikes. So you have to kind of artfully fly through the air with not the greatest of ease, but basically you have to work your way through without touching the ground. And if someone can put this together in 10 minutes, I think we'll all be very impressed.
Oh, especially considering we are now 6 minutes into it and still not seen half the level yet.
Agreed. As far as what my tally is showing me right now, it looks like Jay is still the closest to it by grabbing that upward fling. I don't believe Cinaeth did. He just got to that same section, so it is still very close on both sides.
That is correct. We are currently looking at Jay getting the point on this particular round. Cinaeth is starting to make some progress, but without getting additional flings and movements, we have to go ahead and start thinking about how is he going to play catch up at this point on this particular level.
Agreed. And like I said, I'm very, very curious, and I find it very interesting. Look at this. Jaychalke makes it the furthest. Now he gets the bounce off the vac rack, completely skipped the left fling, but actually works his way around. But he's going to need a lot more momentum bouncing off that vac rat to go to the left to make the upward grab on the next flingo. Like you said, we only have 3 minutes left on this. It looks like Jay has made the most progress overall, but I'm very surprised that no one actually decided to take the time to go look in the rift and actually get a peek at the rest of the level and try to piece it together. They're just going to throw attempts at it.
I guess I just assumed that taking the time and the death wasn't worth it. However, with a viral level, especially one with no checkpoint, you need every advantage you can get, and I think both players really should have gone into the Looky-Loo Rift, taken that death, lost that couple of seconds, just to have a better idea of some of the things that they will be seeing throughout the course of this level.
I like the name you chose, the Looky-Loo Rift, because that's exactly what it is at this point. I believe Jay, after failing now on the second time of skipping the left fling and noticing he's not making it far enough, hopefully has pieced that part together that he's going to need that to actually jump off the back rat. So right now, Jaychalke's still out in front. 2 minutes left to go. Cinaeth's going to have to put something together here and make some more upward progress.
Yeah, this is just an unrelenting level. The fact that they are making the progress they're making with the stress of A, a competition, and B, a hard set time limit. Those are just two things that further the difficulty on an already ridiculously difficult level. So nothing but admiration for them for going through this.
Absolutely right. You are there, Hex. Now, that being said, while I was playing this today, I had the luxury of not having 60 plus people currently watching me, of knowing I'm not racing a timer and that I'm not racing somebody else. There are some added pressures here that definitely can make technical inputs and completions like this very difficult. And we're currently staring down the barrel of less than a minute 30 left to go. We're about a minute 15. And right now, both guys are struggling here to make their way through. Jay still out in front.
First section, even though they've cleared it so many times, it's still giving them so much trouble. Is definitely become the bane of the existence of this level.
Agreed. So one thing to note, when you actually do the downward fling after jumping off this vac right here, that's the enemy that's sitting on top of the first spike that we see. You basically have to actually do a re-grab. That's what we refer to as, or a coyote jump, as some people refer to it as. Basically, you have to jump off the top to get yourself some additional momentum before flinging up. So you need to press jump, grab, and down all at once, then throw to the right, then grab upward, then grab to the right, all within a couple of seconds of each other. So even though they've completed this a few times, it's still a very tough and tight string of inputs that have to happen. 15 seconds left to go. Unless someone puts on a clinic here, we're not going to see a completion, fortunately, but looks like this one's going to go into Jaychalke.
That's going to be a tie ball game. This might be one of the hardest sets of 17 ever to be competing in.
And that wraps it up, folks. Level 2 is in the books. We're moving on here. Let's go ahead and award the point then to Jaychalke, and we'll go and confer in the chat really fast. And the gentleman's agreement continues. They're saying that no one gets the point for this one. I wonder if they're going to be going by the logic of checkpoints, since technically there was no checkpoints here.
In other words, if nobody hits a Buddy City, nobody gets a point. This is going to make this very interesting if levels do not have a checkpoint.
Indeed, right you are there, Hex. So that being said, this one is it's dead in the water. No one gets nothing on this one because there's only one checkpoint and no one made the clear. Again, a level that was less than 10 seconds could not be completed in 10 minutes. And we're gonna be moving on to our third one here very shortly. Actually, away we go. They are just jumping in at this point. So welcome to Green One's Supreme Snow Slide. This one is a treat. So that being said, there's no ice mechanics or ice physics actually within Levelhead. But there is, however, Slippy Goo. And Slippy Goo can be masked by, just like we saw in the previous level, where you can kind of mask terrain of a different type in a different way. It's been enclosed by this snowy terrain that we have here and gives the illusion of you kind of slipping through. But that being said, the momentum preservation from going off those flingos we're going to see here and used. Looks like Cinaeth right now currently out in front is going to find his way through. Again, deaths are going to be education on this level, much like all the other Kaisers that we've seen so far. But Jay should be able to work his way through pretty fast as well. But there's a lot of very interesting moments we're going to be seeing here today. Hopefully someone can grab a clear. Good luck to both.
Yeah, this additional time that Cinaeth has had at this first checkpoint is going to be massive for him getting to the next one. Like you said, every death teaches you, and it looks like he's making a little bit of progress each time after he gets these flingos on the top part. So this could be one that we might actually get a full-on delivery if he keeps going at this pace.
Now, this level's no slouch either. I don't remember. I played this one a couple of times before. I believe I still have third place on this level, not to toot my own horn, but it's like a 3-minute time. And I knew what I was doing, and that's the crazy bit of it here. So if we see a completion here in under 10 minutes, I will be thoroughly impressed by whomever gets this clear. Oh, and Cinaeth taking a death after having some momentum there has to make some very interesting jumps. You'll notice there's a different mechanic here that we've not seen before. There's actually those timers that are going off and then exploding. That explosion momentum then, since we have no friction on the ground with the goo that's hidden in the snow, if you will, they can basically they don't have to hit any inputs besides jump, and they can maintain their momentum all the way through. We will see that in some sections. And Jaychalke hitting that first checkpoint, working his way up the ski lift. So now, right now, both runners are tied. But Cinaeth has had the most time with this section to throw attempts at it to learn. So hopefully Jay can adapt quickly and find his way to the next checkpoint ahead of Cinaeth. And Jay doing the slow and steady. He sees he's making his path here. He's got a chance at it. Well, that swoop-a-doop, the twist goose says no, denied. Get out of here. Back to the checkpoint you go. Taking it slow can't happen here. Got to go fast all the time.
It looked like something straight out of my tactics. It looked like a hook or by crook to get to that checkpoint right there. Intentionally not using the blast momentum and instead going slow and steady, almost getting to the checkpoint. What a interesting strategy.
It's like I've heard that story before, Hex. Slow and steady, winning the race potentially. Who would have thought? Well, that only worked for a couple of sections here. But one good thing to note in this level versus what we've seen before is that you do have the chance in some sections to just stop and kind of take in your surroundings as best you can. We didn't see that in the first two levels. This one's a little more giving in that regard if they have a chance to stop.
Oh, it looks like Cinaeth is now doing the slow and steady. He gets the checkpoint.
Well done to Cinaeth. So there is definitely some hesitation here. After taking 20-some deaths, I can imagine that there is some negative reinforcement that's going to be in place here. Not to talk about game psychology, but Jay, trying to find his path, he doesn't have enough momentum to make that way across. It looks like he's going to get himself... Oh, he bonks his head in the process. On Cinaeth's side, he's also in the learning process. Again, every checkpoint opens up a new section that is unknown to the player. And they're going to have to work their way through it. I say that phrase a lot, and I'm sorry for that, but really that's all they're doing at this point. It's work, and they're going through it. Yeah, as Sleepy calls out in the chat here, spike magnetization is a real thing. I'm not sure what alloy the GR18 is made out of. However, it seems like those spikes, with them being everywhere, it just pulls him and draws him in wherever he goes. All he wants to do is make a delivery. That's all this is. Just a simple delivery simulation. And unfortunately, there's quite a bit in his path. Cinaeth, though, making some excellent progress, finding his jump rhythm, and Jaychalke with a huge head of steam that time, definitely not taking it slow and steady, but however finds himself with a face full of spikes. And I know it's lunchtime and all for some of us here, but that is definitely not a lunch you want to have today.
Well, from personal experience, I can tell you my GR18 loves hugging spikes. I'm not sure if he's trying to eat them, but I assume he's trying to hug them. And he absolutely just goes out of his way to get a face full and a hug from every Spiketron that he sees. And this level seems to be doing the same to our contestants.
Right, you are, Hex, for sure. Cinaeth, though, making some good tangible progress at this point. Seems like he's getting more comfortable getting to the upper right corner. And then from there, he's not really sure. But look at this, Jaychalke, right on his coattails here, has a chance at it. So we're going to see both of them here with about 4 minutes to go. See what they can do. There's still a few more sections left. Jaychalke just opting to do a bungee jump off the side. However, this is a snow slide. This is not the season for that. So as it stands right now, both runners are currently tied on this checkpoint. So even if we don't see it clear, someone is going to have to work their way to the next one. This one that we have here, this bomb, is actually very tricky. You have only a fraction of a second to really react to that Spiketron you're going to be hurtled into at record speed. So GR18 is going to set the land speed record here. Jaychalke holding right to intentionally slow down his momentum to get himself a chance to look at things. However, he does not have enough momentum to cross that spike gap, and now he sees that, so he knows that he can't slow down. He's going to have to go fast. And here we go with another attempt, making the jump a little too high, clipping his forehead on that Spiketron.
Almost looked like Jaychalke was going for a coyote over that gap. Oh, and Jaychalke just getting the checkpoint right there. Beautiful. Now we've got a lead on this level. It is no longer a tie ball game with this particular map.
And it's awesome to see a lead change. Jaychalke had some difficulty with the opening part, with Cinaeth getting an opening or an early lead here. But look at this. The natural instincts and the reactions that Jaychalke has here for these quick jumps that we have. He's getting into a nice rhythm. 2.5 minutes to go at this point. Cinaeth has to piece this section together, and Jaychalke, though, looking really good. However, I will tell you guys, at the end of this, if you look in the bottom left corner of Jaychalke's screen, there are about 6 quick Flingo inputs, up left, down left, up left, that have to happen. And the reason why I can rattle that off so quickly is because I had to memorize them while playing this. So they will try that a couple of times, and we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully they get there. I definitely want to see Jay throw some attempts at it.
It is definitely Flingo DDR. There's no other way to put it. And of course, you would be a natural at that, as some of us already know.
Indeed. It very much is like a little rhythm game that has to happen there, and it is all very tight timing. I really hope he actually gets there and can try his hand at it. Now, that being said, Jaychalke is no stranger to rhythm gaming. I mean, he plays Clone Hero on his stream. That's Guitar Hero here. Up, left, down, left, up, left are the inputs he's going to need there, and hopefully he gets a chance to try at it. And I definitely recommend, again, pause the screen. Take a moment just to look at what's ahead of you. Well, now's not the right time to pause, Jaychalke.
It was almost as if he heard you.
I'm not sure if it's the curse of the commentator, if they take instructions from me at the wrong time.
Let's go a little of column A and a little of column B then.
Right, you are, Hex. By the way, man, very, very glad to share the booth with you here today. Definitely, I believe this is your first time commentating any sort of Levelhead race, and you're doing a fantastic job, sir. Glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, this is my first time commentating on Levelhead, and I gotta say, ever since I picked up this game not too long ago, I quickly fell in love with it. So I'm glad to be able to contribute in any way I can to an event like this.
Well, very glad to have you here. 30 seconds left on the clock. Jaychalke had a chance at the Flingos, however, tried to slow down, but couldn't really put things together at that point. Cinaeth, however, still one checkpoint behind, trying to put it together here at the end. Can he tie it up, or will Jaychalke be getting on the board here? 15 seconds left to go.
This is definitely turning into a nail biter.
And 3, 2, 1. And we are done. Point goes to Jaychalke. We see it 1-1. 3 levels in the books. 14 left to go. Thank you guys so much. Well done to Jaychalke, coming back to take the lead on that one. Very good.
I wonder if this is going to be a situation where Jaychalke has gotten into a rhythm and we're going to start seeing him stack upon stack these points, or if Cinaeth can get back into this and then begin to widen that gap. That is going to be the question here. Who will get the next one? Who will start to establish a difference in points?
It's a very good assessment overall. As we've seen in the past here, that races can very well be momentum-based. Cinaeth came out swinging, did a pretty good job. Again, first blood going 1-0. Then they tie it up, and now it's shifting now. The power is now shifted onto Jaychalke's side. Again, even if we're still tied up 1-1 here, still plenty of races to go. Jay's gonna be feeling good about that one.
Oh, any win on these type of levels is definitely something you have to feel good on.
Absolutely, for sure. And here we go, the purge problem. Now, let me throw this out there really quick. This level from Specchio, I would be really amazed if we saw a clear in 10 minutes here. I think I've thrown 40 minutes at this and never cleared it. Probably in total. The trickiness about this is a ripcord level. This is one of the power-ups we've not seen. It's a jetpack power-up, so it can both jetpack up, or also has this hover capability as a helicopter. What we're looking to avoid here are these, I believe, light blue, dreadfully colorblind, these light blue like panels that we're seeing that actually purge the power-up and basically clips the wings, as we see on Jaychalke's side here, clips the wings from GR18. And he needs to maintain his power basically through these sections as best as possible here. So what we can really hope for here is that basically, can you make it to the next checkpoint? Can you make it through the next ordeal that Specchio, the creator, has put forth for you at this point? And right now we're seeing, it looks like Cinaeth and Jaychalke are both matched up. They can make it to the package, but having some difficulty getting up there. The red purge gate that the package is sitting on right there does not purge the power-up, the ripcord jetpack power-up that we're seeing here. However, no items, such as the package, can pass through them. However, the light blue purge gates, the package can pass through that. And the sparkly purple one we see at the top there purges everything. No items can pass through, and you will lose your power-up. So they will have to forfeit their power-up at the top of that. But if you look closely on the right-hand side of Jaychalke's screen right now, you'll see a little tank sitting next to and hovering next to that checkpoint there. They will be picking up ripcord for the next section as well, so that is an intended mechanic. Hex, have you ever tried your hand at this one, sir?
I have. I made it to the first checkpoint, but I am almost too embarrassed to say how long that took. This first section really does set the tone for the rest of the level as well, because I've seen a couple of other streamers play this, and it does not get any easier from here. In fact, this is the most forgiving section of this level.
Absolutely agreed, for sure. So if we can see someone grab the first checkpoint, Cinaeth has a chance at it. He's being very, very tepid, as he should be at this point. He's made some progress, but also Jaychalke right on his heels as well. Who's going to get this first? Basically, what we have to do is it has to be one smooth motion of grabbing the package, going upward, throwing it to the right through those spike chainers we see kind of set into position, and then rocketing through the purple at the top and then moving to the right slightly. So all that has to happen in one smooth motion, but if you can make it through there, the package unlocks that gate, and you grab yourself the power-up and that checkpoint. And right now at the lead, as we're almost 3 minutes in.
It's just such a tight configuration to whip around with ripcord, past the purge gates, throwing the package, purposely going through the purge gate, but having enough momentum to clear those spike chainers so that you can land. That is not an easy feat to do.
So as we saw here, Cinaeth actually testing the water a bit, trying to throw the package to the left. However, those light blue purge gates will not support the package. Again, it doesn't matter what items go through there. However, power-ups cannot. So it looks like Cinaeth has a chance at it, but however, does not have enough momentum to the right and falls through. And I will highlight this as well. Chat currently talking about some other creators in our community right now that make very good levels that are technical, pleasing, visually pleasing and stuff like that. Steak Hutsy is someone out there. I played some very technical levels from that person as well. The one, probably actually I think it's still the top clip for Levelhead for the category is The Way of Vakrat, which is an extremely fast level involving momentum keeping and jumping off Vakrat. So we'd love to see some more stuff like that. We'll shout out a creator for sure. Steak Hutsy, fantastic creator for work, but we'll not be seeing anything from him today, I believe. But right now, the story is Specchio's level we have in front of us with 4 minutes and 40 seconds ticking away. And we're still working on that first checkpoint.
It goes without saying, but even through the brutality, this level is still beautiful. Nothing short of what you would expect from a level creator of Specchio's talent and skill. Somehow making the most painful experience visually pleasing. Not many can do that.
Indeed, this level is as technical as it is beautiful. And the aesthetics, I mean, those are probably the hardest parts and actually most time-consuming things of level design in general. Usually you can put together a bare-bones idea here. Really, all that we can have is just these simple platforms and some purge gates and such. But Specchio went the extra mile to put things together and make things look aesthetically pleasing. And definitely very much appreciated. Half the time is away. Jaychalke kind of testing the water a bit with how much fuel he has to work with. But he's looking to see. We've seen both runners do these like test jumps to kind of figure out when do I hit the jetpack and what does that look like?
5 burritos of fuel is not a lot for ripcord. We've all felt that pain repetitively.
Indeed you are. So one thing else I will throw out while we have a quick second here, guys. Take a look that on the right-hand side, you'll see a sign, essentially. You'll see kind of, it looks like almost like a fireball going to the right, kind of curving to the right. That sign indicates throw. And basically it's showing the runners that they have to throw that package through those spikes. Those spikes are a semi-solid. Basically, they can be thrown through for the items themselves, but GR18 cannot pass because, that would be death at this point. But that being said, with me talking, Cinaeth getting the first checkpoint. Congratulations to him. On to the next side. That is a huge development. Jaychalke's going to have to come back here to tie it back up, or Cinaeth will get this point.
Oh no, Jay almost got the checkpoint, but the package dropped on the left side of where he needed it to be.
Truly a heartbreaker.
That has got to be gutting.
But here's the good news. He did it once. He has 3 minutes to go. He knows what has to happen. I think he can tie this up, and 3 minutes may not be enough time for Cinaeth to piece together what has to happen in this next technical section.
Absolutely, but when you're that close, the "it's so nice, do it twice" can be quite painful.
And it happens again. Unfortunately, Jaychalke, he makes the jump over the top. He does the pole vault, but leaves the package behind. And as we all know, delivery is king at this point. If you leave the package behind, it ain't going to go well.
Jaychalke like getting
he's
that
got
CP.
It. Congrats to both runners here. Tying it up, Jaychalke now. We have about 2 minutes left on the clock until the next endeavor occurs here. But again, this has been wonderful to see. So this is going to keep it tied, oddly enough. We're both at the same checkpoint at this point. Only 2 minutes to go.
Looks like Cinaeth has found a pretty good little strategy for getting through this particular section. He's consistently getting to the bottom. He just needs to get that package without taking a spike. That seems to be the hard part, is at the bottom, kicking the package over and then immediately shifting yourself over, but also having room to jump while not hitting the purge gate. It is a conundrum at the very least.
So positioning here is paramount. Basically, what we want to have happen is that the package itself, that horizontal throw to the right, is the right strategy to do. But what you actually have to do is do an upward diagonal right throw of that package, so it actually will land on the red purge gate we see on the right-hand side there, and then fly yourself through that side as well. So basically, you have to throw the package through the light blue side, but then fly yourself kind of awkwardly through that red purge gate, so as to not lose your power up, and land on top of the package itself so you can regain your fuel. So a lot to consider in such a tight corridor that you have there. Either you fail the throw of the package, or you clip your wings on the purge gate coming up here. So it looks like Jay's going to have a chance at it. Let's see what he does. Time is ticking, though. He's got to hurry. 35 seconds, basically.
This is definitely going to be anyone's game. If Jay can get this...
Oh, clips his wings, though.
Death.
He was
testing looked like we would have had it.
Unfortunately here, 15 seconds left to go. I believe this one's going to be falling down to a tie. But a valiant effort from both sides here. Cinaeth with a last-second push, trying his best to figure things out, but that's not going to work.
And just such difficulty inside of this level. Just getting to that first checkpoint, if you've never played this level before, in 10 minutes, or in 6 minutes in their case, is a very impressive feat, for sure.
And that's all she wrote, folks. We'll be moving on to level 5 here momentarily. Again, these are 17 blind Kaizo levels. These guys have not played these before. They have 10 minutes on each one. Whoever gets to the furthest checkpoint or completes the delivery first will be getting their hands on those precious points. Right now, we're tied up 1-1.
We were talking about momentum before the next one. What do we think is going to happen on Beats by Waddles?
So this one here is going to be interesting. I will tell you out of the gate that there's a few things that are not easily seen, that are not intuitive to this level. As it stands right now, you can't actually access any other checkpoints unless you find a secret out of the opening. Basically, there's a fall-through ledge right by the chest where it opens, where you can turn off the gems, but it actually enables the checkpoint. So we'll see if either one of them are curious enough to look for a secret in the opening, and if they can find that. And if they can, that will definitely help them. But essentially, this is a Megalovania music level that we're seeing here. It's Undertale-inspired. Clearly, we see Sans pieced together on the right-hand side, standing there about to tell us we're going to have a bad time. And we'll see whether or not these guys get dunked on or not.
God, we are racing with these type of rules. Otherwise, this level could be dangerous considering it has a lot of time gates. Yes, a lot of required time per section.
Agreed. There's a lot of waiting, a lot of kind of like auto-scroller type things to call out here. But this is where we stand at this point. They're going to have to work their way through and learn the patterns. And again, I really do hope that one of them has a curious spirit and looks for that switch to unlock the checkpoints here, so they actually have a chance to make it through this level. I can't imagine that someone's going to be able to blindly make it through this in 10 minutes.
And a traditional race set of rules, this would probably be one of those ones that as soon as it loads up, if anybody's familiar with it, or after a few times dying in it and having to get sent all the way back to the very beginning, this is definitely a level that would traditionally get a skip in a race.
Indeed, right you are for sure. So unfortunately, Cinaeth making it to the next section, but jumping just a little too high over those flames. Those are very light tap jumps that have to happen in that section in rhythm. And then you can move on to the next section here. Jay, unfortunately, too far to the left to avoid that X cross that happens. And again, every death is punishing, and you have to wait a good solid 10 seconds before you have a chance to try this again. And guys, while we're having here, just want to throw it out again. Welcome everyone to this marathon that has been put together by Jay for a fantastic cause. All kids deserve to eat. Just going to take a quick moment to talk about this really fast, guys. This is a marathon, 2 days, 30 hours. So keep it locked here on the channel. And I appreciate all the donations that you guys have thrown out there. Jay will be reading donations then once he's done with the race. So keep those coming in. Everything goes to AKDTE. There are definitely some shirts available that Cinaeth has referenced as well. We did get confirmation that those XLTs are also going to be available too, for sure. So those that were inquiring about it, they are out there. Let me just take a quick moment to talk about AKDTE. All Kids Deserve to Eat strives to improve and sustain the quality of life for students across America. Its specific objective is to make direct relief efforts to schools across America for the purpose of alleviating lunch debt accrued by students throughout their educational career. And for those that don't know what lunch debt is, it's something that follows these students all the way into adulthood. Basically, it's accrued from elementary school onward, that if they can't afford their lunches for whatever reason, basically it goes on their file and they're indebted. And that debt follows them. And basically, if it's not paid by the end of their high school years, they can't go to prom, they can't participate in extracurricular activities, they can't get their transcripts for college. This is something that impacts lives. It's not just lunch, it's not just food, it's also livelihood and the quality of life that they will have later on in life as well. So the money that you guys submit for this is truly for a worthy cause for sure. So thank you guys for all that have submitted for it. Really appreciate it. Let's get back to the action. Hex, what do you got for me?
So Cinaeth actually made it to the first checkpoint. However, he did not unlock the ability to use the checkpoint. He is here for the second time. And the first time you could see some frustration as he was trying to find a way to trigger those gates to open up, but unfortunately and sadly, that was not meant to be.
And Jay taking an unfortunate death with too much momentum through the rift gate here. We're going to see if a similar thing happens to Cinaeth. He actually takes it quite nicely. Let's see if he can survive this onslaught. And that's death. There's nothing you can do about that one. And again, the only way to unlock those checkpoints, which is just unfortunate, is there's a hidden area you have to hold down next to the chest, and there's a fall-through ledge there that has a lock. It turns off the gems, so you can't get score, but it unlocks the checkpoints.
Definitely a devious design for checkpoints. Are sacred, and I know that those buddies are just taunting both of our players today because they see them, but they can't reach them.
Agreed. Now, Waddles here, who is the creator of this, he is known for making troll levels and being a big fan of that as well. So in a way, that can be a bit of a troll that we're seeing out of the gate, as painful as it is today, given the rule set that we're currently looking at. Let's see if Jay learned from last time. Unfortunately, no, that's going to be a death. I don't think, actually, no, Jay didn't make it there. Cinaeth did. So now he's finding out for himself that he has to jump down there earlier than what he's probably comfortable doing to make it through that next rift. And we got about 4 minutes left on the clock here, guys. Cinaeth getting back to that section here shortly.
The trick with this one is he needs to rush fast enough to get past that full bar like he just did.
Well done by Cinaeth. Moving on, he would have that next checkpoint, but no, it's locked. And this section, I believe, is the last one. The last challenge that has to happen. Unfortunately, there's well, we'll see.
Well said, well said. And we just saw it.
Yep. So that is not the last challenge. You have basically a randomized pattern to deal with at the end there. There are 3 rows that you'll see signs light up to tell you where the beam of fire is effectively going to come from, and you have to react to it extremely quickly.
Pat calling Waddles mean with the setup of the checkpoints in this level, I cannot disagree.
Jaychalke making it to this section as well. He'll be getting into that fire beam area that we just saw Cinaeth dying here momentarily. Let's see how he handles it with a sight read. And he befalls the same fate.
Cinaeth got hit from the top, and then Jay got hit from the bottom. Just such a difficult setup to accurately read, and to figure out what you're supposed to be looking for can also be a little bit puzzling.
Agreed. So even though that this has been called out that it's not a true quote unquote true Kaizo, this is definitely very much still in the same vein of looking for a very specific set of inputs, requiring precision, reading what the level is looking for you to do in general. So even if it's not specifically stringing things together, there's still that challenge there that we have to work our way through. And we got 2 minutes left on the clock here, guys. We'll see what happens. Jay, further right now than Cinaeth, but he's going to have to make his way through the fire laser section. Ooh, just barely almost clipping that fire on the way down.
Jay sent all the way back to the beginning again. Jay just looking puzzled by that CP.
Yeah, we're seeing...
He almost looks frustrated that he can't get to it.
He doesn't want to progress. He just wants to kind of treat it as that. So there may be a gentleman's agreement here, but even if that's the case, both players have made it to the same area. So even then,
either way, it's a draw. Either way, it's a draw. Nobody has had any further progression than the other.
So how about that?
To be a fly on the wall in their little chat about this level.
Yeah, that's gonna be a treat for sure. And they got a minute 15 left. Here we go. Oh, Jay. Oh man, just getting blasted by that fire. He did a good job. He was 2 spaces away from death, twice at that point, but somehow positioned himself such a way. And Jay is just giving up. I think he's just...
Jay just stopped. He took a nap. He needed to recharge his battery. Now he's trying to grab anything, looking for any way to get to the checkpoint. You could feel the misery and pain that this level is bringing upon our runners.
Now, I don't believe Waddles is here with us today, but right now, off in the distance, you can hear him laughing. He is very pleased with himself with what has occurred today. That they can see the checkpoints, but they can't get to them, and they have to keep going through these sections here at the beginning, and their misery's over in 20 seconds.
I'm not gonna lie, I am having to fight hard not to laugh. This is just pain and misery on a whole new scale for a race.
All right, guys. So that being said, 5 seconds here to go. Both we can agree from what we saw here in the booth. That is
an absolute tie. No momentum changing at all. We've maintained a tie since a very long time ago. This is going to basically come down to who can get the next point. Whoever can get the next point can start to relax a little bit, which will help their mindset moving forward in the next levels. This next level comes from a very, very consistent Kaizo maker, Riku, and I have spent quite a bit of time going face first into spikes in this level. This is a very fun level. It's a lot of controlled jumps. Once they figure out that this is controlled jumps as well as some shell jumps, they will have a good run on it.
Now, I'm sorry to say here, so we had some discussion here in the chat. Cinaeth actually did play that level, unfortunately. So he has seen that level before. That would not be a blind run through. That being said, I do want to take a quick moment, though, guys, to shout that out for the Levelhead players that are here watching. That level from Riku is absolutely fantastic. Very precise jumps, like Hex said. We have the shell jumps to open up with. That level is designed beautifully. So for those that didn't have a chance to actually see it or haven't seen it themselves, go check out Riku's level, a sweet Spiketron level 2. Fantastic level. I loved it when I played it for sure. But let's go ahead and move on then to the next one, guys. Here we go. All right, so this one is actually blind to me as well. I've not played this one. I did have a chance to play through a couple of these to kind of see what we were up against before. So looks like from here, we're going to have the Blop Sack and Waylay combo. So this is something that's interesting. The Blop Sack here are those wings you're kind of seeing there. They are dropped by the larger Blop Fush, which are those big flying blue fishy things that we see. And Jaychalke doing a pretty good job figuring this out as well. When combining the Waylay dash, the air dash, with the Blop Sack, you get this very sweet floatiness to it that you're able to work with. It kind of this anti-gravity. You can legit fly. The name for this in the community is discount ripcord, is basically what it comes down to, where you can fly, sure, just in a very odd way.
The other benefit of this combination is infinite flight, so you have no limit as far as how far and how long you can stay in the air with this particular combination of item and power-up. So it can be the ultimate combination to find some very delicious cheese and levels.
Right, you are, Hex, for sure. But unfortunately today they are well contained. And check this out. Both of our runners getting to the checkpoint at the same time here, looking good. I'm not sure if Cinaeth is contemplating restarting this level. But Jay's still working through on his side. Let me take a look at the chat here and see maybe what's going on here.
All right, Cinaeth has returned to gameplay.
Oh, there he goes. Maybe he just needed a moment to take a breather, get the hand towel, wipe off the hand sweat, that sort of thing. Palm sweaty, arms heavy, mom spaghetti, that sort of thing.
In the meantime, it looks like Jaychalke has made quite a bit of progress in figuring out what's next. He's made it through the bumper, as well as figured out how to consistently hit that punch right into the wall in the right spot to not hit the spikes on this backwards ascension.
Agreed. And as you can see there, there's just a simple, subtle hint. The arrow that's pointing left to show you should be hitting the wall to make progression. And that he is. He's doing a really good job. Nice rhythm he's got, taking it slow and steady once again, but making progress, but unfortunately clipping the side of that Spiketron on the way up. Unfortunate, but he's definitely feeling more confident and very much ahead of Cinaeth at this point.
Interesting question to put out there. Why was that buddy locked?
That is a very interesting question, and we see that on both sides, curiously enough. So I'm curious to see if there may be a way to open that up, potentially later in the level.
Hey, just jumping above that, clearly he's wondering the same thing that I am wondering, and as well you, Retro.
Now, here's something neat that's called out from Sleepy. They are imprisoned for CP1 crime. I believe that in the beginning of this level, there was a friendly Blopfush who had a table of Blop Sacks for them. I believe both players killed the Blopfush to start. Truly a transgression. I don't mean to spark the debate, but there is for those that do not know, the Blopfush are considered either very good or very evil. And there's some ambiguity in the lore about whether or not that's true, since they don't really actively attack the player. They just kind of chill. They're just kind of vibing there, doing their thing. But both players opted to kill the Blopfush in the opening. However, no.
Wait a second. No. Jaychalke apparently did not.
So we have an automatic.
He has gotten that checkpoint.
And that little sense of adventure and just thinking, hey, maybe there's a hidden switch there that I can get through. Jaychalke takes the lead.
Calling out that people need to mark automatic doors better. There is an arrow pointing directly at the door, though. Knows how you want to take that. Creator of the level said that arrow was enough. It was enough for Jay to explore it.
And people calling out in chat, and everyone kind of in agreement here for those that have played Levelhead for a while. Automatic doors should be marked in some way. Unfortunately, once again, Jaychalke, Wings of Wax, too close to the sun, yada yada, bonks his head on the spikes with a checkpoint in view. And look at this. He's doing a good job now. Look at this. He's got a chance at it. Here we go.
There we go.
Okay.
You're now 2 checkpoints ahead.
2 checkpoints ahead and over halfway gone on the timer. We still have 4.5 minutes left to go in this one. And now the routing is going to change slightly. It is no longer a clear, straight path we have here. Now it's a minefield.
Yeah, so every single hit you do and how you try to cancel your momentum, everything matters. One false move, and you will hit one of these unexpected spikes, so to speak.
Right, you are there, Hex. One thing to point out, again, with subtle little visual cues, and you guys might be wondering, why is he not dashing repeatedly over and over again? There is a slight cooldown that has to happen. You cannot string together multiple dashes. You will see like these little sweat marks kind of come off of GR18. You'll just see them kind of pop up above his head. At that point, that subtle little visual cue notes that the hidden cooldown for the ability is up, and you can use it again at that point. So that's why they can't do it when they want to. It's a bit of a delay in between. And Cinaeth Jaychalke grabbing that checkpoint, finding his way to the middle now. He's going to have to float down. And dodge.
But that is the thing. You pick up momentum so fast when you have the blob sack. It starts real slow. Then it starts ramping up quite a bit, which could take a little bit of getting used to if you're not used to that.
Now, one interesting thing to point out here at the top here, you can see the Blotfish with another table. The package is there. The delivery zone is there. The goal can be seen. Will we be seeing a delivery happen here in the next few minutes? And on Cinaeth's side, he's made some progress. He's found that automatic door trick as well, but he has a long bit of ways to go and not a lot of time to make it up here. Let's see if he can pull things out here and keep things tied and locked 1-1. Otherwise, Jay's going to take this momentum.
It does look like the center area is giving Jay quite a hard time with these flames that come on and off via the clocks.
Oh, Jay with an excellent strategy to reset his momentum, just bashing into the wall and able to maintain himself. He's reducing his fall by giving that upward impulse. So that's actually a very nice strat he's figured out there. And I believe that is the intended strat, as we're seeing here. Guys, we have less than 2 minutes left to go on this one here. We know that there's checkpoints fairly nearby for Jay to grab, but Cinaeth still has a very large climb. He sees the next checkpoint in mind, but unfortunately too much. He threaded the needle right to his death, unfortunately.
Oh, it's always tough when you see the checkpoint, you're right there, and then rip. One of the most painful experiences you can have. And I gotta imagine with the rules that they've set, that painful experience is only amplified considering they both know they don't need to get the clear. And I'm assuming that they're both thinking every single time they die, that puts the other person that much further ahead.
Absolutely. And speaking about going further ahead, Jaychalke lengthening his stride, grabbing the armor and picking up the next checkpoint. He's way ahead right now. Cinaeth has a lot of ground to maintain or to make up here in under a minute. I think Jay's got this one on lock. We're going to see a lead change.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. It looks like all but a foregone conclusion at this point. We will have a leader change. Jaychalke will take his lead for the first time in this race, which has got to be nothing but an amazing boost for him going into the next levels.
Absolutely. Definitely with basically back-to-back points for him. He was down 1-0 and he's going to be going up 2-1. That's definitely some momentum in Jay's hands for him to work with here with 15 seconds left to go. This is going to be comfortably in his place. Looks like it looks like right now the person that's tracking the score in the background is already ready to go. Put the points on the board before the time actually even fell, but clearly plain to see. Well played by Jay on that point. Made some excellent progress. Cinaeth also did a good job of stringing things together, but just could not get what he needed to make that climb on the left side.
Outstanding. Jaychalke with a nice catch up from the original one-up that Cinaeth had on the first map. Coming back now, 2-1. This is going to put a lot of pressure on Cinaeth to catch up.
Okay, Tim throwing out there, okay, bets. Will any level be completed? We have not seen an actual delivery today, even though that points have been put on the board. But that being said, these levels are truly very difficult. Moving on to another one here. Let's see what this one's looking like.
Wouldn't be a Kaizo if it was easy.
Okay, so this one, however, it looks like we have locking spike traps that happen in certain sections, as we can see here. So they may have to jump a couple of times here to avoid unlocking those spike traps. I don't believe that they're going to have enough wall hang to actually make it back with the tiptoe. Again, when they're grabbing that ninja power up at the top there. But we can see this timer ticking away. Jay, not opting to jump, is not going to have enough hang to get back. He's going to have to jump and learn that you can't lock those spike traps.
Tippy bringing up an excellent point in chat that completing a Kaizo level in 10 minutes, that is a very, very tall order indeed.
Yeah, right, you are for sure. So, I mean, you're asking for a level of precision and expertise and mastery in 10 minutes. This is the ultimate challenge of adaptability, performance, and any other verb or adjective you can throw at this point. This is just, it's a tall ask either way in this setting, completely blind, basically. You know that the timer's ticking, you know people are watching, you know that you're here to entertain the people, and hopefully all you guys are truly entertained as much as we are here. I'm having a blast. Hopefully you're having a good time here too, Hex.
Oh, absolutely. I am having a fantastic time. This top section seems to be doing a really big number on our competitors for sure.
Now, it looks like they're not picking up on the idea here that the spike traps are locking and that they should be jumping here to actually make sure that they're not touching the ground. Cinaeth right now kind of taking things slowly rather than running through the entire thing. I'm not sure if he's trying to figure out where the spike traps actually are or if that's what the level's asking of him. But right now, there's not really much tangible progress we're seeing on both sides. You know what the definition of insanity is, Hex?
The same thing over and over again, expect a different result, and I think we're seeing quite a bit of that. And then Jay figured out what happens when the timer runs out.
Indeed, we saw 2 minutes of basically the same thing occur, and now both players are trying to do their own thing to figure out what's actually happening in the first place. Jay, again, doing his science in the lab, watching to see, hey, what happens when that timer ticks down? And, of course, bad things. It's not going to be raining gems anytime soon.
Kaizo meets puzzle, but it's definitely not a Kaizo level in the way that most of us are used to.
Well, this is technically the 7th level we've seen today, even though this is level 8. There was a small skip. We saw, well, no, this is the 8th one. We saw a little bit of Riku's level that had Cinaeth come across. Like, everyone's had a different execution, and we've seen different gimmicks on display at this point. Cinaeth taking a nap between those spikes. I'm not sure if he's waving the white flag at this point, even though there's still plenty of time left. Nope, he's just collecting himself, doing what he can at this point. But we'll see if anyone can make it past this opening screen, if they'll figure out what actually has to happen with these spike traps.
Oh, it looks like we've had towels thrown in, both of them. That is going to be a zero-sum level as far as the score goes. Both runners have agreed, checking chat right now, both runners have agreed to skip this level. So we are indeed moving on to the next one. They have reached that pain threshold that says, I'm not spending any more time here.
Unbelievable. Both of them throwing in the towel. Again, the gentleman's agreement to like, hey, are you done with this one? Yeah, I'm done with this one. Okay, let's move on. So away we go now, level 9. Here we are. Cinaeth a little bit faster on the gun here. Not seeing the same from Jay, however. Looks like the stream may have dropped out on his side, potentially.
Yep. I think we're going to need a pause while they figure everything out. Give us a second while we get into the next level. It looks like they are. And it looks like Cinaeth is giving Jay a chance to bounce around a little bit.
And bounce around right you are with that one for sure. So the item that we have here, this one is a flap sack. Don't confuse that with the blob sack. This one here is basically a bouncy ball that you can use to get yourself a nice little boost, as we're seeing here. Good job from everybody. And we're using the Waylay power-up once again, the air dash. You can work your way through those bricks, bust your way through. So we're going to see a mix of them at this point. And away we go. Looks like Jay's trying to figure out a way through that. I think he's got the right idea. He just has to thread the needle.
Looks like Jay has figured out a way to get through that by not using it before not using the item before he busts open the wall. However, it looks like getting the timing exactly right to thread through with that punch with 3 tiles of mercy, so to speak. Or 2 tiles of mercy, which is not a lot of margin for error, especially when you're using Waylay's punch.
And that's going to be a first blood for Jay, getting his first checkpoint, getting on the board here. That is definitely the intended. Oh no! Look at this. Jay actually caught the checkpoint while dashing, so it's actually maintaining the state. He's trying to figure out a way. No, he is soft locked. He's going to have to restart this level.
He will need to restart, and that will reset his progress. Unfortunately, that was a crushing thing.
And the unfortunate,
but as they say, so nice, got to do it twice.
Well, he's done it before. He can do it again, and he shows getting through there very quickly, tying it back up with Cinaeth, and now showing his expertise here. Look at this. Oh, he didn't get the bounce though, however.
He was very close. He automatically, just off of intuition alone, knew what the intended strat was. Didn't have to look around. Immediately knew he needed to throw down. He was just slightly off on his trajectory.
Right you are. So this one is, again, a different type of Kais that we see at play here. And Waylay is on display. And we'll see who can possibly get it right now. They're in sync. Look at this.
I have to say, I am impressed to see multiple levels really taking advantage of Waylay. It's not something you tend to see as often versus like a zipper or a tiptoe.
Agreed there for sure, man. It's. I had originally said, without really considering it or thinking about it, that the Waylay was a brutish, non-precise thing. But now we've seen today it used in very precise ways and beautifully done too as well. This level right here, actually, I would very much enjoy playing just based on the flow that I'm seeing.
Yeah, this level is right up my alley as well. And as most of you know, I don't particularly enjoy Kaizos myself. So that's kind of saying something. I see a lot of movements and whatnot that I would really enjoy attempting myself.
This is definitely a very satisfying looking level overall, but will either of these players make some progress here? They've both been kind of stalled at this first checkpoint that we're seeing here. We have about 6 minutes left on the clock for this one. Hopefully we'll see a delivery happen today.
So far, deliveries have been few and non-existent.
Well, when the challenges are this precise and this difficult overall, 10-minute time limit to learn this and master it in that amount of time is definitely a tall ask for anyone of any skill level at that point. So going into something blind and having to learn it entirely, you have to be adaptable, and it's a lot to ask, but these players are doing a great job. I think Jay and Cinaeth both have put on a great show for us at this point and continue to do so. And guess what, guys? This is level 9. We have 8 more levels yet after this to dig into that you guys were so generous enough to donate for the incentives for. Again, definitely check things out. There's more to come here on the marathon for sure, but there's more Levelhead for you to enjoy. And I believe that the incentive was met for the blindfolded race that will be happening after this, where chat will be helping out Jay and Cinaeth to make it through the level. They're going to be turning off their monitors where the gameplay is and simply looking at chat to help them out. So definitely watch for that. That should be a treat.
That will definitely be a treat. Since you have definitely the most experience blindfolded playing Levelhead, why don't you go ahead and tell our viewers a little bit about that experience and about how that feels?
So here's the interesting thing. It seems like my flavor of blindfolding, but basically playing blindfolded, I have game audio to work with. I don't know if these guys are actually going to have game audio or if they're just going to have chat only. Hopefully they have game audio to work with, because at least then they can hear if they're making progress, if there's checkpoints that they're hitting at that point. But for those that may not know me or they do, I'm actually legally blind, so as it is. I sit a foot away from a 55-inch screen to play games. It's weird to speedrun in that regard. So I'm pretty well attuned with sound, and it's a skill set in and of itself. I was inspired by the speedrunners that play Punch-Out blindfolded. And it has been a real treat to kind of dig in and play levels and beat levels blindfolded. So I'm curious to see with Jay and Cinaeth, with the help of chat, if they'll be able to do the same today.
Much progression in the way of this particular section. It looks like the 3 spike platform has become quite the immovable roadblock.
Right, you are definitely asking a lot of these players here to kind of do this midair throw onto the platform, then go to the right. We only have 3 minutes left on the clock for this one. Unbelievably, they made it here to the first checkpoint, but this definitely is truly the obstacle that's going to decide the entire thing for it, looks like.
It almost looks as if you're supposed to hit the wall before you do the bounce. Now.
.230 left on the clock here. Both players just trying to throw everything they possibly can at this one to figure out how exactly to get the dash and get back in time. Jay figuring out an interesting little mechanic. Look at this. So as he's going to have to throw it down, and with the upward impulse from throwing it down, he's going to go ahead and chain that together with the air dash, come back, bounce off, then dash through that to get to the next side. And it looks like he's got a nice little setup there that he's feeling pretty comfortable about. Maybe he'll be
screening items. Off-screening items always come back, and to use that to your advantage is an absolute genius move, a genius play.
Completely agreed. Less than 2 minutes on the clock here. Jay has a nice setup that he's feeling comfortable about here, so he'll have more opportunities, and sometimes just having more chances at a section to do your experimentation very much can lead to victory. So we'll see. Will Jay keep his clinic going? Will it be 3 points unanswered, or will they tie here today and give Cinaeth a chance to come back in the next one?
The minute and a half, and this looking almost frame for frame. This is literally anyone's matchup. Anyone can get this checkpoint at any time.
We're getting closer to the minute mark here, 1:10 to go. Both players very much struggling. You got to feel the frustration at this point, where they've thrown attempts at this over and over again, not really getting any further. After spending multiple minutes in the same section, there's a feeling of being stagnant. That is definitely very pervasive at that point. And you know that's going to be creeping in. There is definitely a mental game that's going on behind the scenes here, more than what we're just simply seeing on the screen. And that's something I very much like to key in on, is the psychology of the runner, not only just what the technical prowess that they're displaying.
For sure. Every single death, each one's got to be thinking by now the other guy has already gotten that checkpoint. And that's just got to be weighing on them harder and harder as the time progresses, as more deaths are thrown at a section. That can be their own worst enemy as well.
Rich, you are. 10 minutes, by the way, may seem like a lot of time, but when you're in there, it goes by very, very quickly. And both players are seeing that with only 10 seconds to go. Looks like we're going to be wrapping up our 9th level here, basically around the halfway mark, a little past the halfway mark for today. From the performance that you've seen on both sides here, Hex, what are you thinking as far as what do you think the final score will be at the end and who's going to take it?
I think at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, whoever wins is going to win by 1 point. Because they seem to be going tit for tat, a lot of ties, barely getting one other checkpoint over the other one. This has been a battle of endurance more than it's been somebody just completely running roughshod on a level.
Completely.
And when it comes down to endurance, I can't make a pick, honestly. I honestly can't make a pick because these guys are both throwing everything they have at it, and they've drawn so many times.
Agreed. So I will say that there is going to be some fatigue here that's going to happen. And here's an interesting little bit to throw out there. Jay was in the Ori 2 race right before this. So there is a level of race fatigue that may set in, but you can't really see it in the gameplay that Jay is displaying at this point. He's doing a very great job. Cinaeth also right behind him in most regards. We haven't really seen any blowout victories today. The only time that's really occurred was the second point that Jay had, because he had a couple of checkpoints on Cinaeth. So truly, it is anyone's game here as we go into level 10. And I believe this is a Saber level. Saber also makes some really fantastic ones. Hex, I know you're a fan of his work.
Absolutely. Saber and Flowart are the only two creators of Kaizos that I will play without any question, just because I love the work that they do. Their levels are always fun, very interesting. They throw some different things at you that you're not quite expecting movement-wise. So it's always a pleasure to bounce around in there. Since we have rebound, might as well go with the bouncing comments, bounce around in their levels.
I dig the wordplay there, Hex, for sure. Very apropos for what we're seeing here. But so now we see the rebound on display out of the gates. We've seen a lot of waylay action here today. A little bit of tiptoe. I'm thoroughly disappointed by the lack of zipper since the beginning, but hey, nonetheless. The rebound here that we have from a Flingo, it's an interesting setup. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, what they're going to have to do, and Jay looking to try to skip the Flingo entirely, looks like they're going to have to force themselves to the Flingo, and then possibly Flingo to the right, then turn around and then propel themselves with a backward rebound shot to just get over that top part there. And that looks like that's what Jay is currently trying to do at this point.
Cinaeth getting it done. He's gotten past that first spot. Now he's got to figure out exactly where he needs to go next.
Ooh, he would have made it through there if it weren't for those meddling kids. If it was not for that second blast that he had. There we go. There's some progress. Both players making it across.
Those meddling kids and those spike trons too.
So now what we have here, we have a setup where they're going to have to grab the spot with the spring. It looks like Jay getting the running start again with the big brain plays, rather than trying to do a rebound jump that we saw Cinaeth going for. Basically, the faces that we have here, you can use those as movable platforms, just like we saw how the flap sacks are being used in the last level. You can throw that in there and use that for a chance to jump off of it. Right now, they're going to grab this spring and take it with them.
It looks like Cinaeth has figured out exactly what he needs to do and where he needs to do it, bringing that sprung from the top down to the bottom. It's just going to be a matter of figuring out exactly where he needs to place that rebound shot after he grabs it and land in the safe spot to move forward and progress in the league.
So right now, both players pretty much in sync with what they're doing. They both have the same level of knowledge and skill up to this point. They know it has to happen. Look at this. They're bouncing in sync, folks. Oh, Jay not taking the spring with him. You're going to want to do a grab. There we go. Oh, Cinaeth a little too high on that one. You're going to have to be fearless on this level. You're going to have to get a little lower. You have to listen to Little John and the East Side Boys and get low before you actually hit that.
Hey, realizing right there, there was nothing he could do. did not see an easy way to get back to that sprung, to pick it back up, and to get himself back over. Having to take that respawn after much deliberation, definitely a rock and a hard place to be in.
Now, Cinaeth making progress, has found his way up. He's not going to be able to take that spring with him, it looks like, unless he really wants to do some fanciness. I know that Intuition probably is just chomping at the bit right now to figure out a way to bring that with him. A big fan of the springs. For those that don't know here, let's go ahead and shout out Intuition. Probably the best speedrunner that we have in the group overall. Has done some truly magical things, and big shout out to him and the work that he has done. Check out his stuff out there on YouTube, not to give him some plug or promotion, but some of the technical things you can do in this game is really mind-boggling that we're not going to see today, but the tech in this game is deep, that's for sure.
Hey, trying to keep the sprung with a super jump, definitely something I did not anticipate seeing come out.
So that's also a nice little bit of tech for sure, but with those flingos there, you're gonna have to do some balancing. We did notice, however, there is a Spiketron below the second flingo on that side there that they could probably pop that thing down on if they need to. So maybe not a bad play. We're getting to about the halfway mark here at this point, and it's 5 minutes to go with not really a lot of progression that we've seen. And chat calling out here, why are there no checkpoints? It's hard to say. That hopefully we would have seen one here after this opening potentially. And
we have had another drop. Yeah, both decided together to quit that level and move on to the next one. So that is the second level where we have reached a frustrated let's move end.
Okay, timer dropped to 5 minutes for what we're seeing here at this point. So I'm not sure if they're going to try to do things in 5 minutes moving forward from here on to keep schedule, since we have that blindfolded race coming up after this, or if that was a gentleman's agreement. Either way. So we will go with the assumption that it will be 5 minutes moving forward. So even a taller ask, but good luck to the runners at this point if that is the case. We'll see how they progress. We'll kind of just go based on their movements. Either way, they're definitely under the gun here. Now check this out. We've got some interesting momentum tricks happening here with the ripcord.
This level looks insanely familiar. I think this might be one of the ones I have played recently. The whole trick with it was using that momentum through the gates.
And again, that falls in line exactly with what I was saying before. There's a lot of kind of unseen tech that happens here that you can kind of do with these different power-ups and ways things interact, that you can make some very beautiful things happen. Now look at this. Jay grabbing that checkpoint, moving ahead nicely. Definitely a nice pace. He's got to be feeling good about that one now. Very rewarding to hit those checkpoints. He's trying to scout out what he should be doing at this point as well.
He's also trying to scout out whether he can actually take his package or not. And the answer was not.
Yeah, there's a sign there that says to pointing downward, so he's going to have to throw it downward. He can't go with it. He has to throw it down and then also go off to the next area. It's not going to work the way he wants to, unfortunately.
He was looking for cheese that unfortunately was just not there. But it looks like he might have found some cheese after all. That looks like a possible skip.
Ooh, now, unfortunately, it is the platform for the checkpoint is recessed slightly. I don't think he's going to be able to curve in enough to actually get that, unless he's got some decent momentum. Nope, he's going to flush with that wall. There's no way. He's going to have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Yep. There is no by hook or crook in this setup. That little ledge off the side definitely stopped exactly what Jay was thinking about for some nice, delicious cheese.
Agreed. On Cinaeth's side, he's making progress. He sees it, and he's got it.
Now the question becomes, he did not waste time looking for cheese. If he goes for an honest clear, he can catch up very quickly.
Cinaeth doing some recon work, lost his power up by getting too close to those purge gates surrounding the package up top there. But then as a serendipitous fall onto the edge of the Spiketron there, the hitboxes of the Spiketrons are not square shaped, they're actually circular. So you have a few pixels of leeway on the edge of those platforms there. He was able to jump over and take a peek at what's in front of him here. But that being said, while I'm talking here,
ball game.
We are tied together.
You're looking at a tie ball game on this one. At time that Jay wasted trying to find potential cheese in multiple ways, that might have come back to haunt him. Because that lack of progression during that time gave Cinaeth enough of an opportunity to actually catch back up.
Both neck and neck at this point right now, trying to learn. They can see the next checkpoint in their oh my gosh, they're getting so close. And if we're cutting this down to 5 minutes, they're only gonna have 1 minute left to go on this one here, and they're neck and neck.
I feel like with this level, if they would have had 10, they would have gotten a clear.
It is very possible here, but we're going to see. We're going to assume that there's 1 minute left to go. If they pause at 5, then that confirms my situation here. Cinaeth has a chance at this. He could very well grab this point right at the end. Oh, he pushes himself just a little too high. Oh my God, he has a chance of tying this up, folks.
Go. So close.
30 seconds potentially left on the clock. Jay has a chance. Can he do it? Cinaeth right behind him.
Cinaeth getting the checkpoint, Buddy City.
Clutches it out. 4:46 on the clock. If we finish up here at 5, he's got it. I think Jay will have one more attempt potentially at this with this timer if we've tightened it up.
Oh no! Yep, it is 5 minutes, and that means Cinaeth has come back. Tie game. This is what I was talking about. This is a battle of endurance. No way to know how this is going to turn out. And my God, we got to start considering what happens if we have a tie ball game now. Are we going to have a mythical tiebreaker level?
I believe that's going to be possible. We could either have the blindfold race be the tiebreaker for that, or I'll leave that to Cinaeth and Jay to come up with a gentleman's agreement for that either way. But look at this, guys. 2-2. Cinaeth clutching it out in the last 15 seconds to get that final checkpoint. Well done.
Hero bringing up an awesome point. This is so competitive. It's kind of feeling like Specchio versus Edie feed. So this has got that big fight feel.
For those that don't know, that maybe are not part of the Levelhead community, we do have a what was referred to as the Delivery League Championship, or DLC, a tournament that recently went on where we had people going head to head versus blind levels just like this, trying to work their way through playlists as fast as possible. And the Specchio versus Edie feed, 2 players we have in the community, was back and forth, neck and neck the entire way. But anyway, on to the next level here, level 12 it looks like. Since we have this tighter time frame now, 5 minutes on each level, this is even more pressure.
As if we didn't make this hard enough with a 10-minute time limit, we have doubled the stress of each death.
Now, speaking of really quick,
essentially is what this feels like.
Agreed. Now, speaking of really quick, I had mentioned, or what was mentioned earlier, we should have some Steak Hutsy levels in here for this. Looks like we have one right here. It's Steak has submitted for this. Fantastic. Glad to see him in here. Let's see if they're able to piece this level together and what this is going to look like. So this one, we're bouncing off the vac rats here. Those vac rats can take, the larger ones can take 3 hits each. So you have 2 hits to extend your jump up to lock those switches, and then 1 to keep moving forward. So we also are grabbing a battery, which we're then throwing into that area there. So you'll see the battery is floating up there. They're reaching up to grab it, then throwing it downward. You'll see it connect with that little lightning bolt here. And that can do any number of things. The switch logic in Levelhead is super advanced. You can do very, very magical things with things tying together and how they work. You can open doors, reveal items, spawn enemies, really whatever you can think of. Now check this out. Jay putting on a clinic. Oh, but could not get all the switches.
It was so close. He missed that first switch, and that kept the door from opening to give him that first CP.
We're at the 2-minute mark already, 3 minutes to go, but now Jay has that knowledge. He's made it there. He knows what's expected of him, and we can't imagine he's going to make that same mistake twice. Now that he knows, he's going to make sure.
He did not, but he came up short on the bounce back to get to the CP.
Truly painful, unfortunately.
Still, each time it is getting closer. It is getting more consistent, which is going to be absolutely key to getting to this first CP.
Completely agreed. Now, he's getting very consistent with getting back there. We're at 2:45 on the clock, so we're more than halfway done at this point. You know he's going to be feeling the pressure.
Just a match of endurance. This long, this many very difficult Kaizo levels back to back. You gotta imagine by now, it's not just gonna be a physical endurance race. This is definitely becoming a mental one as well.
Yep. Definitely having to switch gears every single time you launch a new level, and now that they're doing it every 5 minutes, it's even worse. And Jay has been very close multiple times now to getting to that checkpoint. He's gotten so close at this point. You know he's going to feel a lot of level of frustration, even if he can get there. And he knows that time is going by very quickly.
God, Levelhead has such a fast respawn rate. As long as you are near a CP or at the beginning like they are.
Cinaeth was knocking at the door on that one. Unfortunately, the upward push, or the spring of the vac rat pushing him up top there, hit it too many times and it died. He didn't have a chance to get back up after that, unfortunately. Less than a minute to go. Can either one of them put it together? They can see the checkpoint is there.
There we go. Jay with the CP, Buddy City all day.
Once again, clutching it out. Cannot believe it.
I think we've had our momentum continue carrying. Throwing out some GGs for Jay on that. Absolutely. Last second clutch. Very impressive.
Indeed. Very well done. 3-2. Jay taking the lead. We're having a lead change once again going into our next level.
This has really just become a tit for tat kind of match.
I think your assessment of this coming down to the wire and only being decided by a single point very well seems accurate at this point.
So the commentator.
It's the foresight, my friend, not the curse. Well, here we go to some ninja action. And we're going to get ourselves a tiptoe. And we have the package already in tow with us at this point.
It's such a powerful item to just get out the gate.
And there's nothing I see that would actually be stopping our runners from doing these package jumps at this point and making it a cross.
Immediately going for one.
Cinaeth drawing first blood.
A tie ball game on the checkpoint counter.
And the next checkpoint within view. And we see a Whizblade and some Blopfish, sorry. Currently blocking our runners' paths.
Ooh. And hazards.
So that hazard right there, guys, that's called a jack drop. And it drops basically a spike right unexpectedly on top of our head there. There is a slight audio cue that you can listen for as it releases, and that's really your only hope for this one.
I'm sure that is something neither of these players have wanted to see or hear in this case.
Indeed, we can see the caution sign is there, so they should be cautious, of course. But those jack drops, after they drop the spike, has a small respawn. until another spike comes down. So once it releases, it's about maybe a 10-second or less timer that it takes for it to pop back into place. But if you keep hanging out there, that will happen. Speaking about hanging out, looks like Jay just kind of chilling there as Cinaeth is making progress. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Unknown why that is a thing. But Cinaeth still trying to make more and more progress. He just jumped down real quickly to scout it out. He's realized what he needs to do. He needs to go off the blockfish, get to that very small platform, and then do the same thing to continue to progress.
Right you are.
So he definitely did a good job for scouting.
Right you are. And it looks like Jay has returned. And using an interesting technique to get that blockfish out of the way by throwing the package down into it. I thought he was going to try the more humane way of doing things, however. But Cinaeth also, like you said, doing that recon work with the package jumps, realizes that he must be up top.
He has found the goal. He has the package with 15 seconds remaining. He can actually pull this off. This can be our first delivery. And I think he knows it. He senses it.
And Jay just getting absolutely bullied by these blobfish, but I shouldn't even say that because they're just kind of hanging out. They're just they're doing their reps right now, doing their walks. They are blameless, but we have a delivery.
First clear. First delivery of this tournament. Outstanding. It is a tie ball game with not just a checkpoint, but to actually get the goal, to get that delivery on time. Phenomenal.
Well, even with the tighter time schedule, too. So he did that in under 5 minutes overall. Congratulations, Cinaeth, for completing a delivery. Fantastic job. Tying it up 3-3. Definitely some hype here.
He definitely has something else he could put out there. Win, lose, or draw, he got a clear.
Indeed. Saw it here today, folks. Some good stuff, and that level definitely no slouch either. Glad to see that it was definitely at the right length to work for this tighter timeline. But they did a good job. We'll be moving on to the next one, guys, getting toward the end of this initial playlist here, tied up 3-3.
Oh my, quite the level right here. It looks like everything is triggered and you got to find a way around it.
Temple of Package Jump. Yes, I have played this one extensively from Camimoop, who's also another prolific creator in our area here. Yes, you must avoid, well, in certain areas, you must avoid having the package, and then later on things will switch over. You can literally see the goal when you start, right at the top there. But the path it takes to get there is a winding and precarious one indeed.
You're trying to work their way out of this first jump with very little luck.
And I'm not entirely sure, but my memory here may be a little foggy. I do not believe there is a checkpoint. If there is, there may be only one that they need to find their way to. Now notice this, they need to actually make sure that the GR18 does not land on those sensors. That's a player eye switch that we're seeing there. So having the package on top of it gives you a buffer space of one tile, which they're set for. And that's basically what keeps you safe. Because if you get seen, it turns on the security system for this temple, and you're going to have a bad day.
And of course, Into putting out in chat that he has found cheese. Level Breaker in chat has found cheese.
Indeed. Looks like we can possibly figure out a way of doing things here. Maybe a super jump within the door, if memory serves. Because you have a chance to stand within there. There's no sensors there. So if you can do a super jump, and for those that do not know, a super jump is throwing the package or a box upward, and then as it begins to fall, jumping down. However, Jay getting very close to a checkpoint. He's got it, folks. Now, at present, we don't
checkpoint
have this running, so this is going to be interesting.
With this checkpoint, that does present a interesting situation if Cinaeth can actually figure out that super jump. If he attempts that and gets it, he can get this clear without ever touching the rest of the level. But of course, he doesn't know that that's there, so it just have to be something that he instinctively sees as his pathing option.
Okay, guys, so we've had a little call here in the chat, is that we've had about 3 minutes go by already, so it's going to be about 2 more minutes. The timer has started at this point, so probably once this gets around the 2-minute mark, this level will be done with here. So we'll see if Cinaeth can find his way to that first checkpoint to tie it up and keep this a tie ball game, or if Jay has been able to find another way to regain the lead. And it looks like, maybe Hex, I may have missed this while I was reading chat here. Oh no, it looks like Jay did figure it out. That package cam, which you can see looks different from the player eye switch, is the first switch we see there next to the checkpoint on the right-hand side there. So he has to actually throw the package over top of it to make sure it does not get seen. But now this is pretty much over at this point. He's going to have to take a death.
He has learned it, but he learned it the hard way. However, if you tie every single death, make sure they all count. That's how you start to get this the ball moving. However, we're getting close. We're at the door. Is he gonna go for the cheese? It looks like he was tempted. No, he's gonna go straight for the CP.
Oh my god. He was thinking about it. I think, yeah, like you said, he was very much tempted by that, but then he was like, well, I probably should go for the checkpoint. Time is ticking down here. We're getting very close. He only has a few seconds if he's going to go for it.
That's the thing. When going for cheese, it is always a risk and reward. High risk, high reward, and now it's a tie ball game. This level is tied at this point, so this could be another tied level.
And I'm waiting for confirmation from
chat.
And it is. That's a tie. That is a tie, guys.
That is another tie. Goodness, talk about intensity.
Unbelievable. This is going to go down to the wire. This is fantastic.
Who would have thought we would have seen such an endurance matchup? It would literally be tit for tat, tied up at almost every opportunity. You get 1, 2, 3 ties, I get 1 type of competition between these two. Talk about absolutely amazing.
Completely agreed, man. This has definitely been a good one to see. And now, again, with the tighter timeline, these levels and having to change gears even more quickly than before, you can't really settle in and feel comfortable on a level. You're going to have to get ready for the next one. So we're winding down here. We're getting toward the bottom of the stack. And again, a big thank you to everyone that is here for being at this marathon that we put together. Again, all kids deserve to eat, AKDTE. Throw that out because of your generosity for meeting this incentive. We're playing all 17 instead of 3, so you guys have wanted more Levelhead. You got more Levelhead, and then we have the blindfold race right after this, where you guys will help these guys try to make it through as best as possible. Well, here we go. On to the next one.
Sleepy in chat throwing out, you get a point, you get a point. No, my friend, this is everybody gets a tie. This has just become an amazing competition as we go down to the wire on level 15.
And there's more ties than Father's Day going on right here today, that's for sure. So this level I've played before, and you have to do some interesting things with kind of firing off those shells using the waylay dash, because again, there's some momentum that gets conveyed. Hitting switches. This one's tough. I don't think I cleared this. I think I got close, but definitely not within 5 minutes. That is for sure. And this level is made by Arad, I believe. Arad is also another prolific speedrunner that we have in the community, and also a great creator making some really fantastic levels. Probably the crown jewel of his handiwork is he made a level called Levelhead in Levelhead. He made a level editor using a level editor in Levelhead.
Levelception right there.
So Riku calls out an interesting stat about this. According to what he's seeing, This level is unbeaten due to the diamond rating at this point. So some levels that have been created, this has only been beaten by the creator. And also that confirms my suspicion that even though I played it, I never beat it.
That is always a good bit of information to know. But that also puts the pressure up because there doesn't seem to be a checkpoint anywhere either.
Afraid not. And so we're not going to see any checkpoints here from what I can tell. And a delivery
uncleared, no checkpoint.
So we're
cleared, no checkpoint is terrifying.
All right, guys, 2 minutes on the clock have ticked away. About 3 minutes left to go. Seems both players have kind of made roughly about the same progress. They know what has to happen, but getting the right things to occur at the right times here, it's all a learning process. And 5 minutes to try to figure things out on an unbeaten level like this, yeah, this is probably the tallest order of the day.
I would not be surprised if this does not go to a 5-minute time.
Well, we are slowly marching our way toward that. Once again, guys, I will go ahead and throw out one more plug for why we are here today for AKDTE. Again, all kids deserve to eat strives to improve and sustain the quality of life for students across America. Its specific objectives is to make direct relief efforts to schools across America for the purpose of alleviating lunch debt accrued by students throughout their educational career. So again, guys, all of your donations go toward that today. There's shirts out there to commemorate it. We got some additional sizes. We got some XLTs for you to check out as well. But real fast, guys, all donations. And Jay will be back in the donation reading booth then after he's done with his races here today. So be sure to send those in. They will get read. They will get seen. Thank you guys so much for all that you've done. You've been nothing but generous here. And as you guys can see, there's going to be a little counter in the bottom that will be updated that we have wiped the debt from over 100 plus kids at this point. And for those that do not know, lunch debt accrued since elementary school moves up forward, prevents transcripts, extracurriculars, going to prom, and it follows kids into their adult life. So it's not just people eating at this point. It's not just food. It's quality of life and also a quality of education moving forward in their lives. It opens other doors for opportunities. So even if you can only donate a couple of dollars here and there, even a single dollar goes a long way in helping out in this. So thank you guys so much for your generosity. Really appreciate it.
So this level uses an interesting mechanic with rebound. You're supposed to shoot into that rift and then use it popping off from above as your platform to get to your first checkpoint. Both players have figured out exactly what's going on. It's just a matter of who's going to get the execution first.
Agreed. This is definitely one that is very much doable in 5 minutes, so we will see a clear here today. Let me go and give you the story behind this one. So this was made by Maple Juice, and this was actually for the initial level jam that happened. Basically, this level was built soup to nuts in an hour. Basically, we all got together. We all had a competition. People built levels in an hour, and this was one of them. And this was a very cool piece of tech. Like you said there, Hex, using these rifts, and basically you're making your own platform to work your way up to the top. Jay looking for cheese rather than trying to do this legitimately. It's not going to go the way he wants. Cinaeth trying to do it as well on his side. But still, 3 minutes to try to put this together. We will see a delivery if they're able to string this together.
Keep going for the goal, but they do not have a package.
And they're not going to find one that way either. They have to find their way up top.
I mean, that's why cheese is such a high risk, high reward. It's just a matter for them to figure out that there is no package over there to be had.
So this is right now where you need to be calm, cool, and collective. Now look, you can see right here. Okay, so Jay has found his way to the delivery area, but he has no package to do. He's just wasting time at this point, showing that he's made it there. But that doesn't count for anything, my friend. You should just go ahead and take the death and get back in there. Maybe Cinaeth will be able to put it together. He's doing a good job making the climb.
He's gotten very close. He keeps putting off his climb a little prematurely. He's not making it to the package to actually grab it.
And we're at the halfway mark. 2 minutes and 30 seconds have ticked by. This is going to be a close one, folks. Now it looks like Jay and Cinaeth are both doing the same thing, where they're getting to the goal, but they're not making it up to where the package is to actually get it. So we may not see a clear here just from just a mindset that they have.
Yeah, they don't know to keep climbing. Said they're kind of stopping a bit too early.
I think right now they're just both very distracted by the goal at this point. Jay opting to quit, does not know. But is Cinaeth too legit to quit, or is it a gentleman's agreement? It is a gentleman's agreement. That is a shame. That level they were so close. We could have seen it today, folks, but we're moving on. And
well, ladies and gentlemen, that means we're going to be on level 17. My God. This is the last opportunity for one of these two gentlemen to get the big dub, the one that counts, and become your all kids deserve to eat Levelhead Kaizo champion.
And this one is by Sonic Smoke Bomb, a creator I'm not familiar with. At this point, looks like it's Tree Fort, and it's gonna be a tight one.
We are employing the single tile gaps, both yours and my favorites.
Your definition of favorite greatly differs from mine.
My favorite, I mean the exact opposite, my friend.
Oh, so it looks like Jay actually had a chance to make it up there. Unfortunately, he saw the checkpoint in view, but could not get to it. Once again, knocking at the door here. Jay right now is in the best situation. We'll see what happens. Cinaeth, however,
Cinaeth with the checkpoint.
He got it, yes. He just grabbed it. Fantastic job.
This is what I was talking about. They're both tied up now. No, it all comes down to this. They have to throw everything they have and sustain their sanity just a little bit longer to get one checkpoint or clear ahead of their competition.
Now, if my math is correct, that is a 6-tile gap that they have in between there. And there's a Spiketron, so they have to kind of fall toward the middle. This is going to be a pretty tight one overall. They're going to have to be fearless about this.
Cinaeth landing on the other side of the platform, but kept walking forward right into the spike. So it looked like he did exactly what you just said, Retro.
Indeed. And right there, he's smelling blood. Now he sees the blob first, punts him out of the way, but however, it falls. All he has to do is hold right to go over that. Oh no, there's actually 2 that's there, so he's going to have to do a dash. Ooh.
Almost looks like it's a dash, and then you have to immediately cut up straight into that checkpoint.
No, what it actually is you need to do a jump and bonk on the top there. You can't do a flat dash or you will fall into that spike. So this is kind of an obtuse way of doing things. You have to kind of jump toward that ledge and then do an air. Basically, you have to hit jump and dash on the same frame. And that you'll bonk across the top and have enough to get across it without falling into that spike pit in the end.
It is a very rough setup. It requires precision would be an understatement.
So Jay opting to try to do a strat where he's actually buffering his jump at the end of the dash and trying to curve to the left. Looks like it could be possible if he can actually go to the edge that he's going for it again. But definitely not the right way to go about it. Ooh, he's got it.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Oh, can he curve up? Yes, we've got another checkpoint. And another Buddy City safely secured for Jay.
If Jay can maintain here and Cinaeth cannot answer back in these 2 minutes, he's got it. He's going to take this. And it looks like he's going to be knocking at the door at the next checkpoint if he can figure out how to string this one. This is going to be a tight one, but all it is one dash and a fall.
Requires a very particular dash to hit the sweet spot.
About 1:30 to go. Ooh, look at this. So Jay, he's got it now. He's found the little fall through ledge to work his way through on there. It's that next checkpoint is very much in view. Cinaeth, about 1:30 left to go on his clock at this point. Time is ticking. Jay grabbing another checkpoint. He's got a 2-checkpoint lead.
Ooh, that is definitely going to put Cinaeth in a very, very hard to hit spot unless he figures out how to do that second jump. after he gets this checkpoint. This is a...
Never mind.
And we've got a delivery. And we've got a delivery for three, Mr. Jaychalke.
Not only
congratulations.
We have a decisive win, my friend. Jaychalke walking away with the victory today. 4-3, a 1-point gap as you forecasted, my friend. Well done.
Seriously, chat, throw out massive hype and massive love for both runners. Congratulations, Jaychalke. What a hard-fought match. You, sir, deserve it. Cinaeth, what a battle. What a match. Tit for tat, barely giving up a single inch or quarter. Outstanding job.
A fantastic show put on by both runners today. Definitely full of determination. Some pretty amazing clutch moments here at the last seconds. People pulling it out as best as possible, tying things up, getting the points, doing what they had to do. But Jay capping this whole thing off with a successful delivery, threading the needle through that one tile gap to get outside. And a great job from him and Cinaeth as well. Congratulations to both runners. But we're not done yet. That's some good stuff. Thanks to everyone here. We have a blindfolded race where chat can help the runners make it through. This is going to be great.
The words of the immortal Billy Mays. But wait, there's more.
Indeed. You guys helped pay for this one. The incentive has been met. Very much looking forward to this one, guys, for sure. So sit tight for 1 second. We're going to get ready here, and we're going to talk with them and figure things out. And then you guys can definitely help them out. Even though we're going to have some Twitch delay, there may be some things we can work through to either make things good for them, mess with them. But nonetheless, Jay walking away with the W today for the main event for the 17-level Kaizo Crush. Chat already kind of getting tuned up, ready to go to make their lives even worse, even though they can't see. So again, from what I understand, from what Cinaeth has said, the blindfold race that will be happening here. Oh, Cheese throwing out he needs a level submission for the blind race. That's interesting. So we definitely want something that would be simple to make it through and not particularly too long, because basically they need to figure out how to get through it so as it is, and possibly have some help from chat.
We're clarifying something very important, a level that can actually be ran blind, because there are a ton of levels that we might think are easy, but they have certain types of obstacles that are completely silent. And there are certain people, me, that make levels with a lot of invisible nonsense to kill you, which would not work for this.
So one question I'm going to have to throw out, though, to chat here is, will they have sound to work with? Because it sounds like if they're just going to turn their monitors off, they'll still have access to sound. They'll be able to see chat and their other monitors. So this will be interesting. I'll actually, you know what? I should probably say, let's see. So noisy levels, right, indeed. I almost feel
the more hot garbo noisy, the better.
Let me see what I can drudge up potentially here.
Immediately recommending Beats by Waddles.
I'm opening up Levelhead now just to see if I have anything in my play history that would fit the bill.
like we have a decision coming through chat. We have a level code, so we are just waiting on our contestants on the blind level is right to get loaded in. Second, we are still working on some stuff, as you guys can see.
Hang in there, folks. Yeah, we're just currently validating which level we want to use for this one, so hang tight.
Thank you guys so much for your patience. We truly do appreciate it. The rules are simple. Chat is going to be helping people, and it will be a 10-minute time limit.
All right, folks. Away we go. Good luck. 10 minutes on the clock. A minute has already passed, it looks like, on my side. And chat, we're going to have to help them out.
Oh, chat can't hear myself or Retro, or the runners can't hear myself or Retro. However, they can see chat. So it's up to you guys to help them.
Yep, it's up to chat at this point to give the instructions as to what's to have to happen here. So I just tried this level myself, sighted, and there's a bit of a time gate out of the open here that's going to happen. And then after that, well, there is a checkpoint not too far away, but they will get some tiptoe action, and there's going to be a lot for them to figure out. But this opening run and jump, they can use the gems for their sound cues here, which is quite nice.
This is going to be rough. I mean, that is a long jump, and the thing that's really going to mess them up, I think, is that first time gate while the dramatic cinematic element of this level kicks in. That is going to be very tough for them to negotiate if they're making progress or not.
Correct, and there is no sound cue for when that hard light actually goes away either. Because you're going to see they're going to get encased there off to the right.
And Jay is the first one to get caught into it.
Okay, Jay makes the jump. So right now, again, we are going for furthest progress here. We're not going for just checkpoints. So whoever makes it the furthest, this level's pretty much from left to right as best as possible. Jay right now, there's a flame in front of him. Will chat tell him about it? See if you can collect that tiptoe.
It almost looks like Chad is beginning to set them up for failure, saying, "You are good." He is anything but good. Going for some trolley points.
He does the leap of faith and gets the tiptoe, making progress here. That right now is the current benchmark that Cinaeth is going to have to reach. And we're 3 minutes in here already, folks.
I mean, every millimeter in this particular type of race.
This is an unprecedented race before. There's never been a blindfolded race, a blindfolded chat assisted, and I put assisted in huge quotes, race before that's ever happened.
Oh, it can be completely overwhelming. Chat, make sure you put in the name of the person you are trying to help.
Yeah, definitely throw out the name to kind of direct it, because they're watching. They're watching chat at least, and hopefully listening to what's occurring. All right, Jay making some progress. He has some things to worry about. There's a scrub, a flame. So this is going to be a bit more dynamic. He's not going to be able to hold on.
Oh, Cinaeth. Killing. Now he's just blind big jumping. He's not even bothering to move forward anymore.
Okay, well that's the end of that run, unfortunately. But he basically made it to the scrub up there. So still very clear that Jaychalke is in the lead after 4 minutes at this point. And it looks like Cinaeth found himself in the cinematic prison, as we'll just refer to it at this point. So he'll get his chance now to possibly make some progress.
An amazing name. It sounds like something I would have called it. I love it. Now, we did find a little while ago, there was a way to bypass this, but you would end up dying from the off-screen flame. So there is a way to overshoot the cinematic prison, but it only yields death because you end up off-screening yourself.
And Jay, jumping ahead boldly now, grabs the tiptoe once again. And
Cinaeth just jumping around, listening some House of Pain.
I was thinking more of Van Halen. Might as well jump.
Huh? Very good reference.
Ooh, chat's talking about going into bush. That might be a good strat to get by, but he's going to have to do a quick jump after that to actually get up the tree.
Greg, the egg is suggesting to jump backwards, which obviously will lead to everyone's death.
Oh man, Jay almost roasting some s'mores for himself, but misses the tiptoe power up in the process. He's gonna need that. He's gonna need that. He's made it to the first checkpoint, but he's completely skipped the tiptoe.
I don't think this level is completable without that either. I believe you do. I believe it does require it.
I don't believe so, but technically he's still farther ahead.
He got the CP. Got the CP, so technically doesn't matter anymore. But yes, I do believe that this level tiptoe. And I am seeing confirmation in chat from the level's creator, Hero, that yes, you do need tiptoe to progress.
This is one of the most beautiful train wrecks I've ever seen.
We have a blind soft lock.
Again, thank you to those that donated for this incentive. This is incredible. Because of course this happens. He makes progress without actually grabbing the power-up. He needs to make additional progress.
This has officially become as good as watching a troll level. I love every second of this. A blind soft lock out the gate. Jay's just not even moving. He's just like, I'm good.
Yeah, he's good. Cinaeth, however, still trying to figure out what the correct cadence is for this open jump. However, like lemmings, just hopping into the pit at this point. He's getting clipped by that prize block he can't see. And he's only got about 2.5 minutes to figure out if he can find his way.
This is a top tier blind playthrough right here. a level really designed in a way that would work for a blind playthrough by any means of the imagination.
Ooh. So Jay makes it past the tree by ducking underneath it, though, but however dies on that fire next to the little tiny house. And we got about 2 minutes left, and Cinaeth coming out of the cinematic prison also jumps over the tiptoe and runs into the scrub's mustache.
It looks like both players are having the same idea of how to get a soft lock. That's not going to help them out too much farther. But right now, Jay definitely has the advantage. Oh no, Jay has realized that the tiptoe is back and is now trying to find it and stumble upon it.
Oh, with it being one tile up, you have to jump into it. He walks underneath it and walks into the fire he had to avoid in the first place. Cinaeth and Jay very well may high five here.
That would be the most amazing thing in a blind run ever.
Now Jay has a scrub creeping up behind him. Kills him in the process.
And has since stopped and has since taken a nap. Now he decides to go, oops. A tiptoe on both. And Jay, having killed everything, he just needs to be aware of the fire as he goes back. The question is that checkpoint reusable?
I'm just about to ask that myself. I'm not sure if it is or not at this point, but no, look at the hesitation.
So something we have not seen either player doing this whole time is hesitating.
I will tell you that there is an audio cue there with sliding down the wall that he had there. He could have actually jumped again if he really wanted to. Oh, but it falls in the fire, unfortunately. All that for naught, but we have 20 seconds left. Will Cinaeth make a push?
I guess the question becomes, if he gets to the checkpoint with the item that does not soft lock him, does that count as more progress? Because technically he has a completable situation.
I can't say so, but unfortunately that's 10 minutes. Cinaeth did not get
There we go.
chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Hexadecimal. I've had the honor of sharing commentary privileges with Retrophile TV. Special shout out again to both Jay and Cinaeth for hosting, running, and putting this amazing event together for All Kids Deserve to Eat. Thank you all at home for viewing, watching, hosting, rating, and donating. You all rock. Thank you guys very much.
Indeed, been truly a pleasure. Thank you so much, Hex. Pleasure to share the booth with you guys. Thank you again for everyone that came out here, donated. This is going to still keep going, guys. Marathon, 30 hours of excellency here by Jaychalke, Cinaeth as well. Again, guys, I'm Retrophile TV. Been an absolute pleasure. If you guys ever have any questions about Levelhead, please feel free to reach out to either one of us. The community's great and wonderful. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Keep on donating to this worthy cause. And guys, be safe, be well, and we'll see you again soon, guys. Have a great one.